are watching the Battle of the Bluegrass on the ACC Network Extra. Inside the KFC Yum Center, we have a battle of a couple of top 20 teams. Number 5, Louisville, taking on number 19, Kentucky, in the Battle of the Bluegrass. Hello, everyone. Welcome courtside along with Sarah White. I'm Don Russell. This Battle of the Bluegrass thing is pretty popular now. It even goes beyond basketball and football. They actually keep score now. We got that going on here again today.
Well, it's an exciting time anytime Kentucky and Louisville match up. And here in the Yum Center, we're going to have a great crowd, I'm sure, for this afternoon's game. Right now, the Cardinals are trailing 3-1. Kentucky has the advantage, but you see the different sports in the Battle of the Bluegrass that match up.
You know, one of the things Sarah always does is breaks down the game with a couple of key players to watch, and there's plenty of those this afternoon. Let's start with the Kentucky Wildcats.
Well, for Kentucky, we're going to be taking a look at a duo of 1,000-point scorers. Sharpshooter Macy Morris, 6-foot senior guard, is shooting 41.5% from beyond the arc. She has connected on 27 threes and has over 200 threes in her career, second best all time for the Wildcats. And then you've got Taylor Murray, and her defense fuels her offense. She's shooting 55% from the floor, averaging 3.7 steals per game. You see her there. She has quick hands as a tenacious defender, has that mid-range shot, can hit the three, but she's known more for her layups and for her mid-range jump shots.
And of course, for the University of Louisville, they got a duo of their own.
Well, point guard Erica Carter, a senior, she is so steady. She looks to attack, but she's not going to make many mistakes out here. She looks for her offense, but first she looks for teammates. She has the ability to go coast to coast. She's averaging almost 10 points and 3 assists per game, and she's coming off a 16.4 assist performance against UT Martin. And then, of course, Asia Durr, the All-American, preseason All-American this year, is on everybody's watch list. She is one of the top players in the country. She is so smooth, but she works hard on both ends of the court, and she probably spends more time in the gym than any other player, and that's one of the things that makes her so special.
And we have the opening tip in the Battle of the Bluegrass, and Kentucky gets the first opportunity, and that's Ryan Howard getting the first 2 in the game.
Well, you expect that the Louisville team is going to have a set ready to go, and we take a look at the Louisville starting 5. Pretty consistent starting 5. Asia Durr, as usual, takes the first shot and makes it. She looks to get started, Don, in her offense early. Durr likes to get the Cardinals off to a strong start by being really offensive-minded in the first minutes of the game.
And there you see the starting 5 for UK. And we're knotted up 2, just underway here in the KFC Yum Center. Sold over 12,500 tickets for this game today. And now we're going to have a traveling violation. That is the first turnover in the game. And our 3 officials today for this Battle of the Bluegrass.
Well, I think one of the things to keep an eye on in this ball game is who has the advantage in the post. If you look at the stats, if you look at the experience, it's where Louisville has an advantage, but there are some talented posts out here for the Wildcats as well.
Durr working one-on-one and hits the baseline jumper. Morris gave her a lot of room. You can't give Asia that much space.
Well, and they feel like if Morris is guarding Durr, Durr has the advantage, and she's going to look to attack. Watching Louisville in practice, it's one of the things that they worked on is who's Morris guarding, identify that and run a set accordingly. But Morris is an outstanding offensive player in her own right.
Yeah, she's a talented senior out of Pineville, Kentucky, went to Bell County High School, has 204 career threes. And speaking of threes, Durr comes back at the Cardinal end.
Well, Durr has scored all of the Cardinals' points so far. It's one of the things that you love about her is that in big games, she usually shows up big time.
Trying to trap in the corner, Louisville defensively, and that leaves McKinney wide open, and Kiki knocks it down.
Well, McKinney's three-point percentage only at 25% on the year, but she has that kind of range. Louisville's got to recognize that and get a hand in her face.
Both of these teams almost mirror themselves when you look at their comparative statistics.
Well, both teams coming in at 9-0, have a lot of common factors, but Louisville taking advantage in the post as Bianca Dunham gets an easy lay-in.
Boy, a nice feed by Jones that time.
This is a very unselfish basketball team that the Cardinals have put together, and they typically are a great passing team and look for one another. That sometimes gets overlooked with the talent of Asia Durr.
Well, both teams can shoot it well, and they are early in the game. Kentucky 3 of 3, Louisville 4 of 4, and there's Matthew Mitchell. In his 12th season, the all-time winningest coach at the University of Kentucky. He's done a terrific job with their program.
He really has. The team had an off year last year at 15-17, but as we mentioned, has them off to an undefeated start at 9-0 to begin this season.
Carter, nice feed down to Dunham, reverses, puts it up a little short, Furing the rebound, and she scores and is fouled on the play.
And one of the things that Matthew Mitchell was concerned about was rebounding. He knows what a strong offensive rebounding team the Cardinals are. They're led by Jeff Walls, also in his 12th season at Louisville, over 300 wins already, 3 Final Fours. He has done an amazing job with this program.
Great rebound follow there by Furing.
We have a member of our team, Courtney Walton, who was a tremendous offensive rebounder out of the post for the Cardinals, and Sam Furing also has an eye for that basketball.
First foul on McKinney, second on the Wildcats as a team. Wyatt.
Louisville with some smothering defense right now. In that man-to-man, they like to extend out and make it difficult. And Erica Carter with the block shot.
Wow, what a defensive gem there by Erica. On the dribble drive, she just slapped it cleanly away.
And the Cardinals like to be high-powered offense, but they are known for their defense.
There's Howard picking up the loose ball, and she takes it in and scores, and she'll go to the line.
Well, Howard is certainly a player to keep our eye on. She leads this Wildcat team in both scoring and rebounding. A 6'2" freshman guard, incredibly talented, can play the 1 through 5 position if required, and played for Jeff Walls with USA Basketball this summer and has the three-point play right there.
Jasmine Jones picked up the foul. Howard completes the three-point play, and the Louisville lead is 2 in the first quarter here. Glad you joined us at the KFC Yum Center for the Battle of the Bluegrass. That pass made in a lot of traffic, and Kentucky comes up with a steal.
Well, not unusual. They're averaging almost 13 steals per game, and Howard shows her three-point range right there. You really have got to get in and get a hand up. Coach Walls telling Jasmine Jones that right now, isn't he?
He did. He was reading your mind. And I tell you what a fine player Howard is. And as you mentioned, nobody knows that more than Jeff Walls when he coached her over in Mexico City.
Howard was the MVP of the Paradise Jam and the U.S. Virgin Islands, which the Wildcats won.
And Carter hits the jumper. Second in assist. 6th in the ACC in field goal percentage. Here's Murray, deep in the corner. McKinney comes up a little bit short. Rebound off the foot of a Cardinal. Much to the dismay of the KFC Yum Center Louisville crowd here today. In our first substitution, Jasmine Jones will leave. Checking into the lineup for Louisville, Dana Evans. Despite the fact she's not a starter, she still leads the team in assists.
Yeah, she's quite the talent and really has come into her own as her sophomore year. Looks like she's a lot more comfortable out there, Don.
Boy, both teams combined shooting 11 of 15. That's only good for 73%. A lot of times you see teams tight in a game like this. Not the case today.
Both of these teams have some upperclassmen to lead them. They know what this rivalry game is all about, and they both want to get the victory for their teams.
McKinney can't get a pick. Goes to the top now to Murray. Shot clock is at 5. Murray puts it up. Blocked by Dunham, but I think they're going to get Bianca for the personal foul. It is.
Murray has such great speed. You really have to respect her dribble drive ability. There's got to be help there. That time the help, and Dunham came over and committed the foul.
Murray, a 5'6" senior guard out of Odenton, Maryland. She has 1,094 career points and can't get the free throw to go. She leads the team in assists and steals. And she was the National Player of the Week back in November, so she's had a stellar early season for Kentucky.
She's also got those gaudy stats, 15 points,
Really?
3 rebounds, over 4 assists, and almost 4 steals per game. But I think her speed is what we really got to keep an eye on this afternoon.
The game tied for the 4th time at 14 now. Good pressure by Kentucky. And now it's in the hands of Durr trying to get a pick from Furing, uses it and knocks it down. And I think Matthew Mitchell thought this was an illegal pick, but he's not going to get the call.
We see Durr there with a nice spacing. She just is so...
Well, Sarah, we talked at the top of the show. Look how close in comparison these teams are in all those different categories.
Yeah, there's a reason they're both 9-0 in the season. Really, the biggest differential is that field goal percentage, but there are a lot of coaches in the country that would take that 40.5%.
Let's check in with the 3rd member of our team and our friend, Courtney Walton.
Coach Walls and Matthew Mitchell are both the winningest coaches at their schools, and emotions are going to run high in this game. Louisville and Kentucky are trying to stay undefeated, and Kentucky is trying to stop Louisville from winning the Battle of the Bluegrass 3 years in a row. Back to you guys.
Okay, Courtney, and you don't think she misses playing in this game? You got the coach in a couple of these, didn't you?
It's always a highlight of the schedule. You have to play one game at a time, but the rivalry game is always one that you look forward to, and you're really happy after the game if it's a win, and it takes several days to get over it if you don't come out on the victorious end.
That's what makes it so great. Here in the Bluegrass, good bounce pass that left Durr wide open. Asia doesn't miss many from there, but one shot and one shot only as Kentucky gets the rebound as Howard went in to get it. Now tries to score at the other end. It does. Boy, how smooth is she through the lane.
Well, nice job by Sam Furing to get back in transition defense, but she just was not able to stay with Ryan Howard on the dribble.
Furing pulls up, tried to bank it. I think she was in between a shot and a pass.
Yeah, that was a little bit of a forced shot by Sam Furing. She has matured so much for this Cardinal basketball team. She doesn't take many bad shots these days.
Macy Morris handles the ball most of the time for Kentucky. Fight for the loose ball. Kylie Shook, who checked into the lineup. Kentucky also made a substitution.
Ogechi Anya Galibo.
That's right, she's in the all-letter club. 13 letters.
It came out so smoothly in the pregame.
Hey, that's the way it always works.
I know.
We'll come up with a nickname for her. How about OA?
I like it.
Louisville with the 2-point lead. Kentucky on the possession.
Anya Galibo taking her second shot after checking in. Can't connect on that one anyway either.
She wears a heavy brace on her left leg. 3 ball. Carter too strong. Rebound Shook. Forces it up. No. And Kentucky in to get the rebound. Howard in there to clear it. She can even bring it up the floor. How versatile is she?
She is just a tremendous talent. Kentucky has been known for smaller guards, so to have a 6'2" point guard is certainly unusual for the Wildcats.
That's a wide open jumper there in the corner, and Wyatt knocks it down, and Kentucky takes the lead by 1.
Well, Wyatt is a talented post player. She likes to face up and has that 3-point range, but that's just her second make on the year. Asia Durr with the answer.
She makes tough shots look easy.
The thing I love about Asia Durr is she looks to get involved in the offense early, so she takes pressure off of her teammates. She knows that she's got to produce for her team in order for them to be successful.
The Louisville lead is 1 again now after that basket by Durr. 3 Wildcats waiting to check in. Steal by Durr. Louisville running the floor. Durr puts it up and gets it.
Durr using her strength to finish inside with a little bit of contact. No foul called, but that was textbook defense as she popped the ball from behind and comes away with the steal.
15 points for Asia Durr. And she gets a little bump foul in the backcourt. trying to play defense.
Well, you're going to see
7 out of 8 from the floor for Asia.
she is just on fire. And we see there she popped the ball and it goes from one end to the other for the lay-in. And Macy Morris just could not stay with her. Durr doing a nice job of initiating a little bit of contact on that steal and lay-in to give herself the space she needed to get that shot off.
Roper's checked into the game, and they get her with a double dribble.
A little bit of a hesitation on that dribble as the pass that she wanted to make wasn't there, and it was enough to create the turnover.
Also checking in the game is Green. Turnovers now, that's 3 for Kentucky, only 1 for Louisville. We'll be watching that stat. Kentucky does a great job forcing turnovers. Matter of fact, leads the nation. Long jumper, Durr, off the left side of the rim.
Not many second chance opportunity for the Cardinals. The Wildcats are doing a nice job, and Erica Carter picks up the foul there as she's putting on some full court pressure.
That's 2 on her now.
And as a player, you have to recognize how the game is being called. The officials know this is a rivalry game. It looks like they're calling it a little tight. You've got to react and give a little bit more space defensively.
So now with 2 fouls on Carter, Kesa Robinson will check in, the freshman of Ashland, Paul Blazer. Louisville by 3, Kentucky with the ball here in the first quarter. In the KFC Yum Center, glad you joined us on the ACC Network Extra. Tough shot by Green. Louisville gets the rebound, looking up court. Durr. Evans starts in, now she backs it out. Good defense by Kentucky. Both of these teams will get after you on D.
They extend their defense, they change defenses. Right now, Kentucky in a man-to-man.
Shot clock at 4. Evans pulls up with a baby jumper and hits it.
Dana Evans showing her speed as she penetrates to the middle for the little pull-up jumper.
And she's in the game for the first time. She'll bring some fire, and listen to this crowd. An 8-3 Cardinal run.
And the fans certainly appreciate it. And I tell you what, when your crowd gets into the game, it gives you a little bit extra energy on the defensive end especially.
3 ball in the corner by Green. No, rebound Durr. And she can't get it off as the first quarter comes to an end. Wow, what a start. Louisville 24, Kentucky, Mississippi. And I know how to say it correctly because I've been there, but it's spelled like Louisville. How's that little tidbit there for you?
I love it. I love it. You've always got something unique for the broadcast.
First quarter, 5 ties, 5 lead changes. Howard leads Kentucky in scoring, but there's a nice feed inside to Fearing for the easy 2.
That was a great slip cut by Sam Fearing. Excellent recognition by Dana Evans. She delivered that pass beautifully. So Fearing caught it on the move and just laid it in.
Now it's a 10-3 Cardinal run. And trying to continue it here. Nice hustle by Kentucky. And there's Morris finally breaking that run with a 3 ball off the wing.
Well, that's the offensive set that'll drive you nuts because Louisville did a great job forcing Murray into a bad shot. As we see a foul there.
That's a bailout too, wasn't it?
Well, it's the way they've been calling the game so far,
right.
though. In the front court, or in the front, against the press, they are not letting the hand check go. They are calling everything.
It's been consistent. You have to adapt to it. You made that point earlier. 3-point shooting. Kentucky's hit all 4 of their threes. Louisville just 1 of 3 tries. Shook from the corner. Too strong. Didn't follow her shot. Kind of stood there and watched it.
Well, and I think the Cardinals are so concerned about Kentucky's transition offense. They're getting back and they're not thinking offensive rebounding as much as they typically do.
McKinney misses for the Cats. Now Fearing waits for help, and now Evans will bring it across the line with some pressure from Taylor Murray.
Evans, a really solid ball handler. We mentioned her quickness. Robinson having a little bit of trouble against that double team, but manages to get the pass out safely.
Shot clock is down to 5. Going to try to get a shot for Durr. Asia lets it go. High arching, didn't get any of it, and that's a shot clock violation.
And that's how talented Asia Durr is. It doesn't matter what shot she takes. There's always a chance it's going in. That time not able to draw iron, but Kentucky's defense forced the Cardinals to take too much time off that shot clock, and they didn't have a good offensive set opportunity.
Let's go to Courtney. He has something from the huddles during the timeout. Courtney?
Yes, Coach Mitchell was telling his team, I'm really proud of the way you all have been playing offensively, but you all aren't forcing Louisville into tough shots. You're letting them shoot and score whenever they want to, get wide open drives to the basket.
They always gave you easy shots, didn't they, Courtney? You never had to worry about that.
But you can see that they have here in this second quarter already stepped up their defensive intensity. So the message was heard by the Wildcats.
2 shots at the line. Dunham back into the lineup. The Shook will go out. And Kentucky gets Howard back in after a very short breather.
Mikasa Robinson, a very talented freshman. She looks a little bit nervous in this ball game, though. She's going to need a minute to settle down and get in her rhythm. She commits a foul there as Taylor Murray has this mindset that she's going to attack the basket first, and she has the quickness that she is a difficult assignment defensively.
Robinson goes to the Cardinal bench, back in as Jasmine. Out of bounds to the Cats to the left as we look courtside. Louisville's lead is 4.
Evans on Taylor Murray is a much better matchup.
Kentucky been struggling after starting 6 of 9 from the floor, just 2 of 9 since. So there's another chippy inside, finally followed up. Good aggressive play on that rebound, and well, Howard just goes to get the ball, and she did it perfectly that time.
Well, you've got to understand, when you're defending a 6'2 guard, you have got to box out and not allow her to get her shot back. Kentucky here in the second quarter has gotten 4 points off of offensive rebounding opportunities. That cannot make the Cardinal coaching staff happy.
Dunham stops her dribble, gives it to Durr, little fall away. Asia hits it as Sam Furing hits the floor. Asia with 17 points.
You think this game means something to Asia Durr? She's looking to go 3-1 against her in-state rivals. Cardinals have won 2 straight, including a big win, 20-point win last year in Memorial Coliseum. This game went to overtime last time they played in the Yum Center.
We called that game. Gonna have to force this one up. Didn't get, should be a shot clock violation because it didn't get any of the rim. That's the way you play defense in a half court, and the crowd appreciates it.
Well, we've seen each team now with tough half-court defense that's caused a shot clock violation.
4th Kentucky turnover. Louisville leads it by 4. Both teams 9-0, nearly stolen away. Good double team. And Evans going to take a timeout. Boy, that was a really good double team. Honestly, she didn't have much of anywhere to go there.
No, you don't want to pick up your dribble along the sideline like that because that becomes another defender.
Well, we looked at Kentucky a little earlier. How about the big picture here for the Louisville Cardinals? A lot of similarities there, too.
That same 9-0 record, it's the second best start for Jeff Walls. I think the thing that really stands out to me, Don, is the fact that you got Asia Durr averaging almost 22 points a game, yet you have 7 players averaging 7 points or more. That kind of balanced attack makes the Cardinals very difficult to defend.
And December kind to Walls and company. And, of course, both these coaches, the winningest coaches in their school's history. And that perfect record will end for one of these two at the end of this afternoon. And a excited KFC Yum Center in Louisville.
You look forward every year to this rivalry game, and Louisville making a lot happen off of the dribble. The Cardinals with just 2 assists on 13 field goals, and that's the kind of defense that the Wildcats play. They're not going to allow you to make easy passes. They're going to defend those passing lanes.
Durr has it now. 3 to shoot. Jones lets it go and banks it in. And low. Right off the square and in the net.
Clutch shot by Jasmine Jones. And she is shooting 65% from the floor this season. Impressive for anyone, but especially considering she plays the guard position.
Here's Wyatt working against Dunham. Now Murray trying to get a high pick, can't use it. Kenny in the corner, missed the 3. Rebound Jones, and she wants to run. Up it goes to Dunham, missed the shot. Good break, everything there except the finish, but Louisville will keep the ball.
Well, that was a great pass by Jasmine Jones. Bianca Dunham just left it a little bit short, but Ryan Howard, who came up with a rebound, fell to the ground and traveled, so Cardinals will retain the basketball.
You see Coach Walls celebrated his 300th win this year. On the inbounds, it comes right back to Durr, knocked away by Murray, and now, oh, and I think they're going to get Asia Durr for a holding foul, and she's not happy about that. Let's look at it again.
Well, Durr dribbles into the paint, dribbles into a little bit of traffic, and gets frustrated as that ball gets grabbed away. She thought her arm got grabbed. You can expect in these rivalry games, things can get a little bit physical.
Yep, sure can. There's Howard through the lane, draws the defense, and that leaves a wide open Taylor Murray to knock down the jumper deep in the corner.
That was a great dish out by Howard. And Taylor Murray hitting just her 5th 3 of the season.
And that's what Howard does well as a freshman. When she gets double teamed, she kicks it out. That was a pretty good look that time by Jasmine Jones, but didn't go. And now Kentucky down by 3, looking for some momentum on this run here in the second quarter. That didn't get any of it.
Yeah, another dish out, but that time Wyatt not able to connect, and Louisville overthrow on the pass, and Wildcats will have possession again.
I know this is ancient, but it still works. The great John Wooden said, be quick, don't hurry. As simple as that sounds, there's a lot of truth to it.
It sums up basketball in a nutshell, quite honestly, Don. You've got to go full speed, but you don't want to rush your decisions. You don't want to rush your shots. That's when turnovers and missed shots occur.
Feed inside, taken away by Fury, and there's going to be a travel. I tell you, it's starting to get pretty physical inside.
Well, this game means a lot to both teams, and they are playing out here today like it means something.
Well, I would guess it probably does mean something by the electricity you feel in the air here today between these teams.
We've got fans in the upper section of the Yum Center.
Last 4 possessions have been 0 for 2 field goals and 2 turnovers, so Louisville needs a good drive here, and they get a good look at it, but Evans got too far underneath the basket and couldn't finish.
I think she was also anticipating some contact and shot the ball a little bit harder than she needed to. Great drive, she just wasn't able to finish. Louisville continues to play that man-to-man defense.
Yeah, and Evans takes it away, and that's going to be a foul called on Howard. Well, I know one thing, Evans, you put her down in front of her, she'll take it out of your pocket in a New York minute. That much I know.
You have got to protect the basketball when Dana Evans is guarding you, and with those long arms of Howard, Evans was able to sneak in there, knock that ball away, and you see the officials are calling it pretty tight. They are not going to let these two teams get out of control.
And Murray has been all over Durr. Asia picks it up, finds Dunham wide open. Well, it wasn't pretty, but it worked.
It was a broken play, but a great wraparound pass by Durr, and good finish inside by Dunham.
Wyatt threw it right off the hand of Jasmine Jones. These teams are getting after it defensively. And a steal by Evans, but they're going to get her on a foul. Here's the previous play and that nice dish.
Nice job by Asia Durr to recognize the open post player in Dunham. And that's where she showed some patience despite getting out of her rhythm offensively and a little off balance, regained composure and made the play.
UK has turned it over 3 of their last 6 possessions, and Evans runs it out the other way for Louisville.
Well, that's where the Cardinals are so dangerous in transition offense.
Timeout, Kentucky. Largest lead in the game for the Cardinals right now, and you see some of the 12,000 plus here. Here's that replay.
Well, a great job by Jasmine Jones to get it up the floor to the speedy Evans. And, you know, the difference in the margin right now is because of those turnovers by the Wildcats and the Cardinals being able to capitalize on them.
Well, you see it's a red out here at the KFC Yum Center. Well, I tell you what, we were joking a little bit when I first came back to Louisville and worked in the athletic department. I want to say, where will women's basketball play? They play at Manual Gym. What about Asia Durr? Watch this. From the beginning, she's been awesome.
Well, we talk about she looks to set up her offense early. She is so quick with the ball in her hand. She moves well without the basketball. She's got that three-point range. She has every facet of the basketball game that you look for. And oh, by the way, she's a lefty, which makes her a little bit more difficult to guard when you're used to playing against right-handed players.
And a wonderful young lady off the court as well.
She's got that megawatt smile. Is all business on the court.
Shot clock is at 5. Here's Murray, tried to get a pick, runs it up, it wouldn't roll. Rebound Dunham.
Great board by Dunham. Louisville's gonna set up their half-court offense after having several transition opportunities here in the late second quarter.
There's a push outside. Under 2 minutes till halftime, 1:47 till the intermission. Well, it's been consistent. There's no hanging on to anybody or just trying to grab.
Well, especially in the open court, these officials are not allowing you to put a hand on anybody. They're calling that hand check foul to make sure they keep this a clean basketball game, and that's what we saw. Blair Green reached out, put her hand on Sam Furing, got whistled immediately.
And this one triggered in. Louisville in the bonus in the final 141. Little fall away by Durr. Too strong, and Howard gets the rebound for UK.
Durr took that step away from the basket as we see Howard gimpy a little bit.
She gives it up in the corner, and that's a 2-point shot. Pascal.
Amanda Pascal with that nice baseline jump shot she was able to connect on, and then another foul called on the Wildcats.
Yeah, that was in the backcourt on the pressure.
Kentucky likes to mix up their defenses, both half court and full court. They'll run a little three-quarter court. They like to trap. They will run man-to-man full court pressure. They also have a 1-2-2 zone.
Murray got the foul. Sorry. It's 2 on her.
So we'll need to keep an eye on the foul situation as they have piled up here in the second quarter. Asia Durr shooting 91% from the free throw line this year.
Leads the team in scoring, 3 points made, 3-point percentage, second in assists. And about anything else she needed to do, she's going to get a little breather here and protect herself for the minute 20. As she's replaced by Robinson, and a great round of applause for Durr.
Well, we mentioned her work ethic. She spends a lot of time in the gym, although she did take some much needed time off this summer, spent with her family.
Howard with a tough shot with the left hand, and it's tipped out of bounds. It'll stay with UK. They get a fresh 30, and we're just under a minute here in the second quarter at 59 seconds.
Cardinals in man-to-man as Kentucky runs their out-of-bounds play underneath the basket.
Kentucky 4 of 14 in this quarter. And they turn it over here.
Well, that was an overpass by McKinney. She had the shot and didn't take it. Tried to make a difficult pass. Jasmine Jones dying for the ball. She's got a mismatch as 5'6" Jada Roper is guarding her. She wanted the post up.
Shot clock is just under 10 now. Kentucky jumps out to a double team. Over it goes to Jones. She launches it, just got a lip of the rim. And on a held ball underneath the basket, Kentucky will get the possession with 19 and 7/10 seconds to the half.
Well, when Kentucky brings that double team of Howard on Dana Evans is only 5'6", maybe 5'5". Howard at 6'2". It makes it very difficult for Evans even to be able to step through or make that pass around. But Louisville got it out, but only with 7 seconds on the shot clock. They really didn't have enough time for a great shot.
Well, Louisville confused a little bit defensively. Now they settled into the man-to-man.
Kentucky will hold it for one shot.
Morris gets it over to Howard. She lets the three go. Nope, rebound. Robinson lets it go, and that'll take us to the end of the first half. A good half for the Louisville Cardinals and a classic.
Worked on over and over and over again, making sure that they were not allowing Kentucky to run the ball after missed shots or turnovers, and they've done a great job, but they need to remember this is a four-quarter ball game, and they've got to play with the same energy level.
Cardinals will have the first possession here in the third quarter. Furing on a high post is triple teamed. Good movement over in the corner, and that's a jumper in the net from Jasmine Jones. That's the way you space and run the offense.
Well, that is the first made three of the season for Jasmine Jones. And you can see that the Wildcats are picking and choosing. They're going to allow Jones to have the shot as opposed to the other starters on the floor, and Jones made them pay in that situation.
And she shot it with confidence, too.
Well, she's a tremendous scorer. That hasn't been her role as much this year, as Howard able to take it on the dribble and draw the foul. That is not the kind of thing that Coach Walls wants to see early on in this ball game. I'm sure a focus in the halftime talk was about taking that away that right hand. And Howard dribbling middle with that right.
She'll have a couple of freebies at the line. And knocks it down. She's a 69% free throw shooter.
Wildcat post players going hard after that rebound. You know, rebounding has been a focus for Kentucky in this ball game. They feel like they have got to out-rebound Louisville, and the physical play continues as you see Sam Furing hitting the ground, and she's the one that gets called for the foul.
That's her second. She didn't like it a bit, for sure. Morris got open for a minute. The Cardinals tried to pick up the charge, and Macy drains it.
Morris now with 7 points. She's been relatively quiet, but Howard has been so strong offensively. Morris hasn't been needed.
Rimmed it. Dunham gets the rebound, needs to protect the ball, and that's going to be a reach-in. Boy, if you reach or touch tonight or this afternoon, you're going to get ticketed with a personal.
We see Macy Morris using her body to create some space, and that pull-up elbow jump shot, she just knocks it down.
Nice feed to Furing inside. Layup and +1.
Well, that is a play that's going to go on the highlight reel. An excellent pass inside to Sam Furing, and then she uses a reverse layup to protect and draw the foul. And Furing is fired up. We've talked about it before, Don. She's an emotional player, but she's playing under control this season.
And that's 2 fouls on Howard now. You know, Sam did a great job using her opposite hand to lay it off the glass. And she hits the freebie to connect that three-point play.
Well, Sam Furing shooting 84% from the free throw line. You see she shoots off center. She doesn't line up in the middle. She was not a good free throw shooter as a freshman, as the Cardinals have their largest lead of the ball game.
And Kentucky looking for a basket here, trying to stop the Cardinal run. Morris had it deflected, and they're going to get Asia Dur, I think, for the foul.
Well, both of these teams are so aggressive defensively that it is difficult then to dial back.
Really?
When the game is being called this tight like this. And so you're doing the things that you naturally do every day in practice. You're trying to be aggressive and make it difficult for the offensive player. And sometimes contact's going to occur.
Missed everything on that three. 2 fouls on Dura, by the way.
Morris was concerned about Fearing's long arms.
And Asia, she's on fire this Sunday afternoon.
And Asia Dur just seems to know when her team needs 2 points or a three-pointer from her, and she delivers.
They're on their feet here in the Let's listen. Asia Dur leads. You're watching the Battle of the Bluegrass on the ACC Network Extra. And a battle it is indeed between Kentucky and Louisville. Along with Sarah White, I'm Don Russell, Jeremy Montno, and our crew doing a great job in the truck. And right now, the Cardinals have their largest lead in the game, Sarah.
They have been able to stretch that lead out to 14 points behind the shooting of Asia Dur, the defensive intensity of the entire team, and the fact that the Wildcats on the season have forced their opponents into almost 27 turnovers per game. Louisville has just 3. They are taking care of the basketball.
We saw Asia's hit 10 of 15 shots in this matchup today. Kentucky will trigger it in just to our right here courtside at the Yum Center. Louisville covering everybody up. Finally, McKinley has to come out and get it and gives it back to Howard, who triggered the play. That's a tough shot, but boy, she can get bumped and still has the hands of a jeweler.
She's got those nice soft hands. She's so smooth, and she has those long arms. She can reach up around to shoot that shot. But you got to take away that right hand.
And there's another shot inside.
Cardinals find Dur. She delivers. That time, Murray just not in the right position to defend, and a turnover by the Wildcats as Wyatt steps out of bounds. She receives that pass. And those kind of unforced turnovers are the ones that drive you a little bit nuts as a coach.
Let's check in with Courtney.
So Coach Mitchell was telling his team that they need to figure out transition defense because they're just sitting back and waiting for Louisville to come at them, as you can see right now. So he's telling them that you guys have to start playing like Wildcats and stop being complacent.
Good point, Courtney, and as soon as she mentions it, you saw it in action.
Louisville is in attack mode, and they are looking to get right to the rim off of defensive rebounds, out of bounds plays. And it's interesting to me, Don, because typically a team that is so good with transition offense, like the Wildcats are, they're usually a really good transition defensive team as well.
That's 3 fouls now on Carter. So she had to take a seat on the bench.
And that's a situation with Erica Carter, your senior point guard. She's got to recognize how this game is being called and don't go for it.
And this time an offensive foul. Fearing cheers loudly because she got Wyatt to kind of make the contact this time. That's a battle going on between those two.
It has been a physical ball game. Emotions run high in your rivalry game.
I want Sam on my team. I don't care what game I'm playing.
Lisa Leslie watch list for top post player in the country. She is so versatile. Just plays hard with so much passion.
You know, that counts as a turnover. That's 9 for Kentucky now. Just 3 for Louisville. Dur missed it all rarely. And a flat-footed rebound by Howard, and she'll bring it up across the line for UK. There's a nice straightaway jumper as Wyatt knocks it down. The sophomore from Columbus, Georgia.
Well, we have not seen many, if any, back-to-the-basket post-play opportunities as Dur dishes off beautifully to Bianca Dunham. Dunham draws the foul.
Right? Wow, what a break.
Well, the Cardinals are 100% in attack mode. They are not waiting for Kentucky. They are taking it on the run. Who needs a set offense when you can deliver in transition like this?
And I tell you, you talk about a young lady that's really improved. Dunham, the junior out of Philly, she has gotten better every year. And a key player now for Louisville, obviously.
She has done a lot to fill in the gap left missing by the graduation of Maisha Hines-Allen. And she didn't get a lot of opportunities when Hines-Allen was on the floor because she played so many minutes and was such a tremendous star for the Cardinals. And she's making most of the opportunities, plays very well in tandem with Sam Furing.
She gets what I'll call a mulligan on that lane violation.
Kentucky in the lane, I think it was Howard that committed that violation, so she gets a second opportunity and capitalizes.
And the Cardinal lead is 15 with 5:20 left here.
Have to compete in this ball game. Both teams are so aggressive defensively. They trap, they're active, they get out beyond the three-point line to apply pressure, but yet recover so well. You can't get flustered in a game like this because you know you're going to get beaten and battered a little bit.
Yeah, we talked about that stat where Kentucky leads the nation, forcing 26 turnovers a game. Louisville's had only 3, and 2 of them have come from Jones. No offense to her, but still only 3 turnovers.
Louisville doing a little bit of double teaming out on the wing.
Morris shoots over it, and Dunham in to clear the rebound off the Furing. Up to Evans, she puts it up, and she draws the foul. Bodies all over the KFC Young Center hardwood, but everybody gets up okay.
Macy Morris did a great job for Kentucky getting back, but she commits the foul, couldn't stop the play. .52-37 here in the KFC Young Center. If you want to keep in touch of what's going on and a lot of women's athletics across the country, ESPNW is the place to be. A lot of features they'll be working on throughout the course of the year, and great place to check it out. I know some of the headlines from ESPNW is Mackenzie Mason in her first-person account revealing her struggles with depression and anxiety, and you applaud anybody who's going to be that vulnerable in an attempt to help others and explain some things that a lot of us face but not necessarily talk about. And then South Carolina just continues to be excellent and has the top-ranked recruiting class in the country. Dawn Staley doing an amazing job with that program, and then Lexi Gordon, the second sophomore from UConn to transfer out. So ESPNW is the place to go. And the place to go right now is Dana Evans at the free throw line. The sophomore from Gary, Indiana, hits a pair. Louisville loves to score in transition. It's something that Kentucky looks to do as well. However, the advantage is definitely to the Cardinals this afternoon in that category. Murray tries to pick up a pick, can't use one. Pascal, nope. And Dunham chases down the rebound, tries to save it. Ends up back with Kentucky. Wildcats got a fresh 30. Pascal goes and just banks it in. Wow, there wasn't much room to get that basketball through that spot, but she did and knocked it in. Let's go, Courtney, what you got?
So Coach Walls was telling his teams, and specifically he looked at Sam Furing and said, look, you've got to keep it cool. This game is really very physical, and Kentucky's starting to get nervous, so you have to keep your cool because we cannot afford technicals.
Good point, and that's one of the things that Courtney knows so well, and you do as a former coach. Being a cool customer under pressure is crucial to success, and Dunham will be going to the line. There's a good look at the junior. Forward. We've talked about the passion with which Sam Furing plays, the emotion that she brings onto the court.
you've got to make sure you're balancing out that emotion and staying smart and not letting it get the best of you. Coaches love players with emotion because they can fire up and bring energy to their teammates, but that emotion has to be channeled in a very positive way.
That's right. And artificial emotion does not work. That's been tried many times.
You've got to be authentic.
55-39 Louisville. Kentucky on the attack.
See the screen switched there by Louisville.
Good pressure there by Dunham to knock it away as Howard tried to go up with it. Jones from end to end.
And that was a smart play by Jasmine Jones because Howard, in a little bit of foul trouble, could not afford to pick up another personal. So she stepped away and allowed Jones to score.
Now we're going to have a timeout by Kentucky. And here's that one into the other.
Howard just runs out of bounds to avoid the contact, and Jones able to finish easily.
57-39 Louisville, number 5 Cardinals against number 19 Wildcats on this Sunday afternoon in the Derby City. And Louisville has certainly done a lot of things pressure-wise that really changed the way Kentucky's affected their shooting an awful lot with their defense. How about the ACC news and notes? We got plenty of them there. 3 remain unbeaten, Louisville, NC State, Vatech. You can take the other 2.
Well, player of the week in the ACC, none other than Louisville's Asia Durr, and then the ACC Network is launching August 22nd of 2019. That's really exciting stuff. Stay tuned for more details on the ACC Network.
How about that? Louisville leads points in the paint 26-16.
And that stat is not surprising. Louisville really with the advantage in the post, plus they've been so successful in transition.
Nice feed over to Howard, and she finished it. Give credit to Kentucky not panicking that time and getting the hoop for the easy 2 from Howard.
Louisville able to pass over the top of the full court pressure exhibited by Kentucky, and now sets up their half-court offense.
Alley-oop! It goes to Jasmine Jones.
And that is a set play that we saw run successfully against Nebraska, and it looks like Jeff Walls has picked up a technical foul, probably from celebration. They get really fired up when that alley-oop pass to Jasmine Jones is executed successfully.
And Stephanie trying to get him back to the bench.
Because they certainly don't want Walls to pick up another technical foul. I am certainly guessing on what that could have been, but from that play, that's the only thing that makes sense. As I said, we saw them execute that alley-oop to Jasmine Jones against Nebraska. And Sam Furing, I think, was the one who went absolutely nuts.
Murray hits the 2 free throws. And Jeff is continuing with his
he's like,
quote,
okay.
Conversation, in quote.
Yes. But he's got a completely different demeanor than when the conversation was happening moments earlier. And if you're a Cardinal fan, it's a little disappointing to go from a highlight of an unbelievably executed play to a technical foul. So Kentucky needs to see if they can take advantage of the momentum shift.
And Morris does just that as she gets a basket taken into the hoop, and she draws the foul.
Taylor Murray showing her quickness in this situation, gets right by Dana Evans. Dana Evans was caught on her heels a little bit, and Murray making her pay. Evans is probably the one player on the Cardinals roster who has the speed to keep up with Murray. Murray is another one of those situations where Murray showing her offense. Apparently it was a taunt by Jasmine Jones. The technical foul occurred.
Well, Evans comes right back at the other end and said, we'll put that all aside, and I'll take another bucket, thank you.
And that gets the crowd back in it.
That one knocked away, picked up nicely by Wyatt, and she is fouled as she tried to put it up. Oh, as you can tell, there's a love affair between these Cardinal fans in the 2 men and 1 woman in stripes today.
Well, the fans may not like it, but you have to make sure in a game like this you're keeping things under control.
And they are, yeah.
And they're doing a great job of that. They're calling it tight, but they're calling it equally, and they're calling it consistently.
You know, Wyatt has been banged up quite a bit at the free throw line. She missed 8 games last year due to an injury. It was day-to-day for a while, but they need her in the lineup as she hits the freebie. And now some pressure.
Kentucky has some non-traditional post players, but they fit Matthew Mitchell's system extremely well. And we see a post player in red, Bianca Dunham, finish on the inside and draw the foul. And Dunham now in double figures with 10 points on 4 of 7 shooting from the floor.
Has 5 rebounds. That's 4 fouls now on Wyatt. She'll be forced to go to the UK bench. Here's that nice pass inside.
You have to love how unselfish this U of L basketball team is. They look for one another. They pride themselves on moving the basketball, try to be efficient, not to take too many dribbles. But Murray running the point now for Kentucky, their senior leader, making the decisions.
Morris trying to work on Carter. And Carter picks up the foul. That's 4 on her now, so you're going to see Evans come right back.
Yeah, Erica Carter has not had much of an opportunity here in this second half due to foul trouble.
She's pleading her case to no avail as Morris. Macy stands up and got the friendly roll. She had back-to-back great games against Morehead State, my alma mater, and URI, Rhode Island, with 31 and 29 points. That's pretty good back-to-back games. She cashes in twice there at the line.
Kentucky showing full court man-to-man pressure. Get it in the hands of Evans. Morris was pretty quiet in the first half.
Yes.
She's had more of an impact here. She knows she has to step up if she's going to try to bring her team a victory in the Yum Center this afternoon.
Here's Dirk dribbling through traffic. 5 on the shot clock. Evans takes it and rolls it in. Boy, you give Dana a sliver and she'll get to the hoop in a hurry.
Well, she did such a fantastic job setting that up by faking middle and then coming back along the baseline. And Matthew Mitchell wants to have a discussion about the lack of defense on that last play.
And Kentucky takes the timeout.
We see Dana Evans. She faked middle, came back with the left hand, and then finished with a little spin to keep it out of the way of the defender. She's got great speed and quickness, and what maturity we've seen out of her this year. She was an impactful player last year, but I would say this year she's an impact player
no question.
for Louisville.
And Matthew Mitchell was really, he took that timeout because he's disappointed about his defense. He went to the player that was beaten by Evans right away. And I think at the end of the day, if things continue as is, he's probably going to point back at his lack of defense if this game's end up as a Cardinal win. But Louisville's played really well since early, too.
They're a very difficult team to defend,
Yep.
and they're used to the pressure defense because they see it in practice every day. And I know in talking with Matthew Mitchell prior to today's game, he knew this was going to be a great test for his team. They've faced some ranked competition, but nobody of the caliber of the Louisville Cardinals yet this year, not in an hostile environment like this. So he wanted to see growth. He knows that this is an important game, but it's as you progress through the season, the games get bigger and bigger.
Louisville's hit 11 of 15 field goals here in the third quarter. That'll get you a bunch.
Louisville's shooting percentages on the year have been tremendous as McKinney cannot connect on that long-range attempt.
Here's the big number. Attendance today, 13,786. 13,786, the attendance here at the Yum Center.
We had some good crowds in my day coaching the Cardinal women's basketball team, but I can guarantee you we never had 13,000 in attendance. Love seeing the fans coming out to support women's basketball.
And both of these programs have held up themselves in putting good programs together for their universities too.
Well, the rivalry game matters more when you're looking at two ranked opponents facing one another.
Now a little run and jump on Asia. And Durr had it knocked away out of bounds. Asia, she won't say much, but if a glance meant 1,000 words, I think we just know what was in that.
Yeah, she felt like she absorbed a little bit of contact. And in a game where a lot of touch fouls have been called, none was called on that play. I'd like to see Durr pass the ball a little bit more. She has a tendency to get in trouble when she dribbles too much.
Evans up and under, blocked nicely as the shot clock violation was coming anyway. So could give Kentucky credit on that half-court defensive.
Well, that was an
play.
extremely tough shot Dana Evans had to take. Not only was the shot clock expiring, but she was guarded by the 6'1" McKinney. That's the first turnover this quarter by the Cardinals, again playing against a defense that is used to turning their opponents over 27 times per game. Give the Louisville team a lot of credit for taking care of the basketball today.
Yeah, put a star by that statistic.
It's really the difference in this ball game.
Howard, a tough shot, my goodness. Under extreme pressure, she banked it in. And now we're going to have a foul in the backcourt and a little Bronx cheer coming from the 13,786 that are here in the Yum today.
I have to tell you, Ryan Howard is a lot of fun to watch. We're getting an opportunity to see her here. Takes the little hesitation dribble, absorbs contact, and finishes inside. She is just a freshman, folks. There are going to be a lot of records broken by this young lady. She continues at this pace.
She knows how to use that square, too. That's almost a lost art. She gets around the basket. She knows how to put it in that square, and more often than not, it'll go through the hoop. Jones hits the free throw.
48% from the floor this season so far, Ryan Howard. She's just such a difficult matchup. At 6'2", you put a guard on her. She's going to be able to post them up or shoot over the top. Put a post on them, they can't match up.
And that is the end of the third quarter as Howard tries one from three-quarter court. Cardinals scored 31 points in the third quarter, and as a result, as we go to the fourth, lead at 67. Battle of the Bluegrass today in the KFC Yum Center, along with Sarah White. I'm Don Russell. Glad you joined us today on ACC Network Extra. And all kinds of folks are here today into the game.
Ryan Howard, who has 20.
Well, we might add, too, this is Kentucky's first true road game of the season. Louisville had a couple of road games on that trip they had to Vegas. And we're underway here in the fourth, and Kentucky with the possession. Morris working against Durr. Asia goes down. They're going to get a charge on Morris. Boy, you get in that position and work for it, you'll take that charge. What does she not do?
Well, such a smart defensive play by Durr. Morris has been pushing off a little bit in the game, and as tightly as this game's been called, Durr just sees that opportunity, sets it up, and Morris goes to the bench with her fourth foul.
That's right. That makes it even a bigger play, and then Louisville can't take advantage of it as they didn't get it in time, so it'll go right back to Kentucky. So there's a turnover you made when no action was actually going on.
And we've got to realize, if you don't have somebody to pass the ball to, use one of your timeouts.
Right.
Burning a timeout is better than a turnover.
That's going to be a little reach in, I guess, going to be on Jasmine Jones as she was trying to check Howard.
And this is a game where you've just got to keep your hands up and away. You want to go for the steal, that's the natural inclination, but if you're going to reach in this ball game, you're going to get a whistle called and a foul 9 times out of 10.
Howard really forced that shot, hoped to get fouled, but didn't. And now Evans races it across the line, now settles the floor.
We haven't said that about Howard much this afternoon. She's taken some tough shots, but
You're
really
right.
good shots.
She is the real deal, that's for sure, for the Wildcats. A great pickup by Coach Matthew Mitchell. There's Jones prior to the shot. She's going to get fouled.
That's Amanda
Pascal.
committing her foul. I like Pascal, though. She has that scorer's mentality. She comes in the game and she looks for her opportunity to contribute, and she's a solid defender as well.
Oh, nice pass. Backdoor underneath. It goes from Dunham to Furin.
Fearing does that so well, that slip cut, backdoor cut, getting herself open.
And Furin nearly had to steal. Loose ball on the floor. And now Dunham comes up with it.
Nice job by Dunham to step in. Howard almost comes up with a steal, and smartly Sam Fearing slows things down and gets the ball into the hands of Durr.
And Durr tried to draw the foul, couldn't get it to go. And it'll stay with the Cards.
What a nice step around move by Durr. I think I would have broken my ankle if I'd tried that. As we see there, Sam Fearing making that backdoor cut and finishing wide open on the inside.
You know, when players see that high-low work, they said, let's do that again. Durr forced that shot.
But if you're Jeff Walls, you don't mind that shot. Asia Durr has the green light pretty much from anywhere on the floor. I'm sure in film session it will be brought out that maybe that wasn't the best decision at that point, but she is such a great scorer and probably underrated as far as her defense goes.
Oh, look at that backdoor pass by Howard. There was a foul underneath, but that, I mean, she's a pleasure to watch play, I have to tell you.
She is a lot of fun to watch. She threaded the needle on that pass, delivered it exactly where she needed it to be. Read the situation perfectly as Murray was cutting baseline.
And she goes to the free throw line, shoots 85% at the stripe. She leads the Wildcats in the steals and assists. Preseason All-SEC selection.
Murray now in double figures. Make it 11 points. She's hit 6 of 7 from the free throw line. Struggled a little bit from the floor, just 2 of 6, but making Louisville pay from the charity stripe.
Kentucky showed a little run and jump, now back across the line in the straight man-to-man defense.
And the Cardinals almost always will bring some sort of full court pressure after a made free throw.
There's a little bump outside. This is going to be a foul on Kiki McKinley. That's her first. And it'll be a Louisville ball out of bounds. Baseline left to its basket, as you can see. It's handed to Dana Evans. Nice pass inside, too. You know, those are some of the easiest ways to score if you work on those plays, and the Cardinals do it all the time, and Dunham got an easy one.
Well, it's one of the things that coaches chart is what is our efficiency on out-of-bounds plays, especially when we're taking it out underneath the basket. And you can't get a much easier score than that. Great job by Jasmine Jones. Excellent pass by Dana Evans.
Roper. Checked by Durr. Try to set a high screen. Nobody there, but open in the corner. Pascal, nope. Rebound back up on the follow by Murray, no. And finally, the Cats get it in.
Well, you can't give any team that number of opportunities on offense, but especially a team as talented as the Wildcats. They're going to make you pay.
71-56 Cardinals, 6:40 here in the fourth quarter in the Battle of the Bluegrass. And Durr lost it. And Murray will bring it up. There's a three and a foul on Fearing. Jada Roper hits her 12th three of the season, and she'll have a chance at a 4-point play.
And she's going to have an opportunity to have a seat on the bench after committing that foul. As the #1 rule is do not foul the jump shooter, especially on a three-point play, but certainly don't foul if you're going to allow them to make the shot. So Kylie Shook is going to come into the ball game. Shook missed the last game. She had some soreness in her knee and missed that game, but has been back in action this afternoon. She comes up with a rebound.
Yep. See, you can't get a 4-point play. She got the hard 3 points out of it, that's for sure.
You've got to be able to defensively, as a post player, close out, get a hand in the face, but not overextend your closeout that you're making contact, and that was the mistake that Sam Fearing made.
Shot clock is at 7, and it's stolen away. But it's going to be Dunham with the foul. That's her second.
But not a bad foul, really. You know, it was probably going to be a layup by Murray had she not committed that foul. You just don't want to see that turnover committed to begin with if you're Louisville. However, the Cardinals have done an outstanding job taking care of the basketball today. Just their 6th turnover on the afternoon. Meanwhile, Kentucky has committed 12 turnovers, which for college women's basketball is actually a very good number. You can keep it under 13 in a game, you're doing some really good things.
Yep, little give and go, nicely done by the Cats as McKinley gets the assist from Howard.
And we've seen that defensive intensity by the Cardinals slack off a little bit these last few possessions, and there's a lot of ball game to be played yet. It's now a 10-point lead for Louisville. They've got to keep their foot on the gas pedal.
Absolutely, with 5:28 remaining in the 4th quarter. And Jeff Wall's going to take a timeout here. With the Cardinals leading by 10.
Because what you've seen now is that offensive success has translated to even greater defensive intensity by the Wildcats.
Well, you know, the Kentucky Wildcats will be getting conference play at the first of the year, but this is what's upcoming for UK. Middle Tennessee, Western Carolina, Murray State.
All 3 of those games at home. In fact, the Wildcats have 5 straight home games before they have to hit the road on January 6th at Mississippi State. So we got a little bit of lighter competition before conference play starts. But every game is a tough matchup these days in college women's basketball. Much greater parity in the sport than there used to be 10, 15, 20 years ago.
Yep, it will tell you about Louisville a little bit later and some special things they'll be having.
So we see Erica Carter with 4 fouls has checked back into the game. Coach Walls felt a little bit of a momentum shift. We see a double team on Durr, and she's not able to get the shot off before and commits a shot clock violation. So not the kind of thing you want to see after a called timeout. You want better offensive execution than that.
Might want to redo on that. Kentucky, you've on 3 straight turnovers now. And there's Howard going to work, tries to get her own rebound, and Fearing clears it out of there like, get away from me.
Nice box out by Sam Fearing. She did a nice job of defending Howard and then boxing out to come up with the board after the miss, and a nice quick move by Asia Durr.
Oh my goodness, Asia.
And I'm not sure how she was able to finish amid all those outstretched white jerseyed arms.
You know, it's worth the price of admission to see Howard and Durr.
They're both phenomenal players.
Yeah, they are.
No question.
Inside, McKinney has it blocked by Fearing out of bounds. Sam has done a terrific job inside. And you see the emotion on her face.
Well, McKinney fortunate that wasn't called a held ball, honestly.
Absolutely.
Nice block by Fearing.
Comes right into Murray. Nobody picks her up, and she just takes it right to the basket for an easy 2.
Well, Dana Evans got beat defensively, and none of the Cardinals saw it in time to help out. and stop up the lane. So Murray with her easiest 2 points of the afternoon.
A 10-point game with 4 to go. Durr, high arching three. Missed it, a one-handed rebound, grabbed out of the air by Howard, and she'll bring it up on the dribble. Look at that move. She stops and rejected. Oh, Jasmine Jones sent it into the first row.
Well, that was a great help side recovery by Jasmine Jones as we see the play here, and she skies for that block shot. Outstanding play by Jones, and the kind of thing that gets the crowd fired up. What Jones has to be careful of, she's already gotten called for a technical for taunting once. She can't get overly excited and risk picking up another play, another foul. But what a great defensive stop. Looked like it was going to be an easy 2 points for Howard. Howard probably a little bit lackadaisical on that layup attempt. Didn't expect to get that shot blocked by Jones. Jones, a tremendous athlete.
Having trouble getting it in, it was deflected away.
So we've seen the Cardinals pick up their defensive intensity.
Louisville may be guarding the fans after the game's over when they come to sign autographs. They have been that stout defensively this afternoon in this game with the Cats.
Jeff Walls wants his players defensively to extend out, put pressure beyond the three-point arc.
Nice movement deep in the corner, and that three is good. Perfectly executed as Tyler Murray scores from deep in the corner, and it's 73-66.
We're seeing a game similar to 4 years ago, come back from the Wildcats.
Durr, tough shot. And knocked out of bounds. It's going to stay with Louisville, I think, or we're going to have a foul. Yeah, we do have a foul.
They're calling the 5th foul on Tatiana Wyatt for the Kentucky Wildcats. And Matthew Mitchell wants to use the time he has for the substitution to talk to his team. And they're not getting the memo because Jada Roper was checking in a little bit too quickly.
Yeah, you saw the disagreement underneath. Louisville had a comfortable 14-point lead. Still plenty of time left in this one, especially the way Kentucky can shoot the threes, as you see Wyatt go to the bench.
We talked about last year's game was an 87-63 victory for Louisville at UK. Year before, it was a 2-point overtime win by the Cardinals. Kentucky's trying to make it equally as interesting this time in the Yum Center.
Yes, indeed.
We see a clear out for Asia Durr, a 1-4 flat, as all 4 Louisville offensive players are along the baseline. Asia's going to use all, she's going to, about at the 10-minute mark, 9-second mark, she'll start going.
She's being checked by Howard, too. Durr with the three, nope, came up short. The pressure from Howard affected her a little bit. And Kentucky on the run, good head fake. Roper knocks it down.
Well, great pump fake by Roper to get herself a little bit closer to the basket. And if you're Louisville, you can't get in too big a rush. Continue to do what you do well.
It's a 5-point game, 2.5 minutes remaining. Kentucky playing that tough defense. Durr comes to get it with 10 on the shot clock, rolls it up and rolls it in!
Well, the offense is simple in a game like this. If you're Jeff Walls, get the ball to Asia Durr and let her be herself.
Second half, Asia 5 out of 12 after hitting 8 of 12 in the first half. Crowd's on its feet.
Big defensive stop.
Oh, and a move by Murray, and she scores. Kentucky trying to make the comeback. And Louisville gets it across the line.
Easily break that full court pressure and now have 20 seconds to run their offense.
One of these two teams will taste defeat for the first time this season. Shot clock at 10 with Furin. And Durr goes down as Roper kind of grabbed her. Unintentional, but
Well, Roper was trying to position herself not to get hung up on that screen by Sam Furing, but she initiated an awful lot of contact. And you see here, Taylor Murray with the speed advantage over Bianca Dunham takes it right to the rim. Easy 2 points for the Wildcats.
And Murray now has 18, along with Howard with 22. Durr with 30 for Louisville. And Asia can't hit the free throw. Wow.
Very surprising miss. Durr, as we mentioned, came into the game shooting 91% from the free throw line.
5-point lead with 1:30 remaining and hit 1 out of 2.
And that's an important free throw because the 6 points keep it a 2-possession game.
Crowd on their feet here at the Yum Center. Kentucky looking for a basket. Howard.
Good defensive stop that time by Dunham. Murray looking to take it again, and she does, but can't connect.
Wow, she had a good look at it.
Was able to get past Jasmine Jones that time, but unable to connect on the layup.
So the Cardinals have the 6-point lead with 1 minute to go.
And the clock is in Louisville's favor. They are not going to look for a quick shot.
Jones thought about it, now wants to bring it out, hands it to Durr. 8 on the shot clock. Asia pulls up, rims out of there.
Erica Carter needs to be careful. A lot of contact, but she forces a turnover by Macy Morris, and Louisville gets the ball back with 41.8 seconds to go and a 6-point lead.
Well, Matthew Mitchell's saying you're going to have to foul as soon as the ball's inbounded. He wants his Wildcats to foul. Actually gets the foul prior to the throw-in.
That's a smart foul by Howard. No time goes off the clock. Puts Sam Furing on the free throw line, although we mentioned Furing struggled early in her career from the charity stripe, but she's shooting 84% this season.
4 on Howard now. She had to commit the personal. There's a good look at the senior out of New Jersey. And she comes up short on the freebie.
In tight game situations, you need to hit those free throws. This is good experience for both teams.
This crowd is on its feet here. Gets 1 out of 2. The Louisville lead is 7, and here come the Cats across the line. Howard, and she's fouled outside prior to that dribble drive.
Yeah, Bianca Dunham grabs some jersey. That's a tough matchup for Dunham with Howard's speed. Ryan Howard, a 69% free throw shooter.
She won the gold medal MVP honors for that Mexico City team that Jeff Walls coached, and comes up short on this one.
It turns into a good foul for Louisville. It was going to be an easy layup for Howard. Now the best she can do is 1 point, although the Wildcats are able to score potentially here without any further time going off.
Most of the crowd standing.
Louisville needs to get the ball across half court, but Kentucky continues to foul. They don't want Louisville to be able to use much of the clock at all. So they're going for the steal first, and if they don't come away with possession of the basketball, they're going to foul.
And Kentucky's out of timeouts too, so they cannot stop the clock.
Jasmine Jones, an 80% free throw shooter. These Cardinals are outstanding free throw shooters, especially the starting 5.
Jazz tonight has 12 points, 5 rebounds, and 4 assists.
I think both coaches are going to have their teams in shooting free throws a little extra.
Well, I tell you, both of these clubs are not going to leave anything in the locker room. They have played their hearts out. And this one misses. Rebound Kentucky. Still time. Down by 6. Howard takes it all the way.
And nobody picked up Howard early, so Jasmine Jones had to recover. She was the free throw shooter recovering back. So Howard has another opportunity from the line. And she comes up a little gimpy again.
Yeah.
We saw her go down in the first half. and come up limping a little bit.
What a recruit for Kentucky, huh?
She is an absolute talent. She's fun to watch.
Out of Cleveland, Tennessee. And perfect on that free throw. Asia Dewar leads all scorers with 31. Howard has 25. And here's that pressure. And they push Asia in the backcourt. Stops the clock just under 26 seconds.
And I love that Durr, but not surprised that Durr wanted the ball in her hands with the time left.
Well, that just shows you anytime these two play, you take nothing for granted and you play from the beginning till the end.
We've seen a lot of tight games in this series, especially the series under the Matthew Mitchell and Jeff Walls eras. Jeff Walls looking to go 6 and 7. The seniors on this U of L team looking to go 3 and 1.
Louisville only 12 of 23 at the line. And Durr hits that one.
Really surprising because the Cardinals are an outstanding free throw shooting team on the season.
Good ball movement by the Cats. Open three by Roper. Almost banked it in. Rebound Furing. And she is fouled in the backcourt with 14 seconds
And that
remaining.
is a big rebound by the senior post player. Furing with 11 points. 7 rebounds this afternoon.
Yep. Sam Furing.
She's another player you can expect to make big plays in big games. We talk about an outstanding free throw shooting team, but they haven't gone to the line as tired as I'm sure they are this afternoon in any games yet this year.
1 out of 2. The lead is 6 with 13 seconds remaining. The Cardinals do not want to foul here. And Morris lays it up and in. They can't stop the clock. It comes in to Carter, and she's fouled with 5 seconds remaining.
Murray commits the foul. That's her 4th personal foul. With 4 of the Kentucky players on the floor with 4 fouls. McKinney, Morris, Howard, and Murray. And Roper has 3 with just 5 seconds left to go. Louisville continues to struggle from that free throw line. These are the kind of things, though, early in the season, Don, you want to see, because you want to know the areas you need to work on.
15 of 28 at the stripe. Comes in bounds. Cats try a long 3, and it's over. The Louisville Cardinals win it as Matthew Mitchell and Jeff Walls meet at the midcourt line.
Well, another exciting ball game